Hey everyone, it's Dominic, the Primetime Treasure Hunter. Thanks so much for coming by to join me for another video. In this video, I'm going to take you through how to deal with a lost package situation through USPS. Unfortunately, this is something that will happen every once in a while, but fortunately, it doesn't happen all too often in my experience. I've dealt with it in the past. I dealt with it relatively recently, and I want to take you through how to troubleshoot it so that if it occurs to you, you know what to do. So let me show you what happened here. This is a rare 1963 telescopes you can build booklet that I sold for $35. I took $5 off as a best offer. And it's similar if you saw my recent what sold video for December 2018. It's similar to an item that I showed there. That's this How to Use Your Telescope booklet from 1959 that I sold for $45 to $50. I may have taken $5 off on that one, but that was the most I would have taken off. But you know, it just goes to show and goes to reinforce what I was saying in that video, which is that these vintage telescope books sell very well. So it's a little bit of an aside from what the topic is during this video, but I like to, give little side tips every once in a while when I'm doing these videos besides what the main topic is about. So jot that down if you didn't see that video. Make sure if you ever see these vintage telescope books to pick them up because they could be really, really nice returns on investment. I got them for $1 a piece, so nice flips. So you can understand someone spends that type of money, they want to make sure they receive their item. And unfortunately, I received an email from the buyer saying this item has not arrived. The other book I bought from you 2 days later arrived yesterday. USPS has not had a tracking update in almost 2 days. Can you trace this package? So you could see why the person's concerned. They don't mention the amount of money that they spent, but that obviously does play a role. But also, the person had bought another item from me 2 days later, and that had already arrived. So where the heck is this package, right? So the person wants to know, can I track the package? And sometimes buyers think that we as sellers have special access to tracking information that we don't really have. We have the same information available as they do. However, they don't realize sometimes that they can go off of eBay and sometimes get some updated tracking information compared to what eBay offers. A lot of people will go through eBay either on the app or on the main website through their desktop to get the tracking information for where the package is. But you can also find this information more directly and normally in a more updated form by just going right to USPS. Now, if you just go to Google and typed in USPS tracking, that's going to automatically bring up the USPS track a package page, and you don't even need to go to the USPS website to do it. Google automatically puts it up there for you. So you could just copy, paste the tracking number, put it in there, and that will let you know where the item is. You could also, of course, go directly into the USPS website, or you could go on the USPS app. Many people don't know there is a USPS app, and you could do tracking in there as well. So I did that, and I got back to the buyer. It's important to make sure you get back to the buyer quickly, stay communicative, because that helps to relieve some anxiety on the buyer's part. They want to know that you're going to be on top of this situation and handle it for them. And what I let the buyer know was that yes, I had done some tracking on the item, and I did find out that it actually had been tracked yesterday, and that it did say that the package was delayed, but that it will get there later than expected, but that it's in transit. And so I let the buyer know that. The buyer said, thank you. I also let the buyer know that if they don't happen to get it by the next week, to let me know, and we'll take it from there. So you also want to put a plan in place so that the buyer knows what to do in case the item doesn't get there within a reasonable time frame. And according to USPS, they will not consider a package lost until 7 business days have passed since when the item was sent out. So that does not include weekends. It's purely business days, so Monday through Friday. And unfortunately, I did receive an email back from the buyer, after about a week had gone by, letting me know that they still have not received the package, and there has been nothing in the form of an update since the last update when the person went to look at the tracking information. So I, of course, went over here to the USPS site, and I entered the tracking information and found out that this time the buyer was correct, that there actually had not been an update. And at that point, I'm saying to myself, well, yeah, it does look like it's lost. And that's what I told the buyer. It does look like it's lost, but all hope is not lost, because what we can do is a missing mail search through USPS. And many people do not know that you can actually do this online, and it's right here, right there in USPS. Now, if you just want to quickly go there, well, by just clicking on the link, then just go right down below in the description section of this video. I'm going to have the link right there, so you just click on it, will take you to it. If you would rather just type it in yourself, then you could see it's right here is the address. But I don't usually like sticking with those for videos that are going to be around for a long time, because websites change their addresses every once in a while. So you could just type in on Google USPS missing mail search or USPS lost mail search, and that should bring you to the page as well. Now, the reason why this is important, especially in my case, is remember, the item is supposedly in transit. So if it's in transit, there's no physical location that we could pin it to. It's not at a particular post office. So there's no one who we could call to, say, hey, is the item maybe sitting on a shelf there somewhere, so that you could go and, look for it and check into it for me. Now, you could certainly do that. You can make that call if it is at a specific location. But if it's in transit, you really don't want to waste a lot of time making phone calls, because it's not going to really be productive, and you may even spend more than an hour on the phone trying to get someone. In fact, someone in my Facebook group, coincidentally, while I'm going through this with my buyer, and that's the Facebook Reselling Resource Center. If you don't know, the link to it is down below in my description section. Come by and join. We'd love to have you there. Person mentioned that they had a lost package, and they spent all this time trying to contact someone through USPS, and they wound up getting disconnected, routed to the wrong person, getting hung up on by accident, and all sorts of things. So it was just a big time waster. And I told the person, I said, listen, do you know that there is a missing mail search form that you could just complete online? You don't have to bother calling anybody. And the person said, no, I had no idea. So that even further reinforced for me the need to make a video like this, so I could just point people to it as a resource. And as you'll see when you scroll down, they'll tell you to make sure you wait the 7 business days, and there's certain pieces of information they're going to want you to enter after you click this blue button that says start your missing mail search. So it's essentially going to bring up a bunch of empty fields for things like the sender's mailing address, the recipient's mailing address, the size and type of container or package that you had the item in. There's a way in which you could upload an image of your item. So, just take an image from your eBay listing and upload it. That's what I did in this case. Just anything that you can give them to help them identify the item. They'll ask you for the color, ask you exactly what it is, and they'll even break it down by area. So, for example, it would say, or I should say by topic or by item category. So, like, you could click books, you could click DVDs. There's all sorts of items categories that you could pick, and then within that, there are certain specifics you could enter as well, such as if it's a book, what's the author's name, that sort of thing. And so anything you could give them to help them find it, that's what they're looking for. They're going to want you to make sure you put the tracking number in there, of course, because that's going to help them. And you could see here, things like brand, model, color, size, whatever is applicable. They want that information in there. So I submitted it. I let the buyer know that I submitted it and said, okay, so here's what we're going to do. Submitted this. Let's wait at least a week and see what happens. And, we'll kind of take it from there at that point. We'll see if it shows up, if we get any significant updates or not. And, we'll just kind of take it from there at that point. And sure enough, the day after I submitted that, I get a message from the buyer saying, good news, this item arrived this afternoon. Thank you for your prompt replies and attention. And that led to a positive feedback, of course. But, you could see there that, person's obviously very happy. The person had been concerned, as you could see down here, that it might arrive damaged, but it didn't. And that's, also reinforces the need for strong packaging. because you never know what's going to wind up happening to these items and if they're going to get lost, misplaced, mishandled, that sort of thing. So you want to make sure you package them really well. So overall, it ended up fine. Person got their package, as I said, left the positive feedback, and I don't know. I can't tell you if the mail search itself is what led the item to turn up. I mean, it's awfully coincidental. I did not receive a notification yet from USPS telling me that the package was found, but as you know, in dealing with USPS, sometimes they have delays there in terms of getting back to you on certain things. I've had times where they pick an item up from my house at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and they don't notify me about that until the next day that they did the pickup, even though I know they came and did the pickup. So sometimes they're on a delay. So who knows? I might get the message today that says that. But that's how I dealt with the situation. If it's happened to you and you have certain experiences you want to share, let me know. If you have any questions, just jot them down below in the comment section. Any comments you want to add, jot those down there. You know I love interacting with all of you and try to get back to each and every one of you. So thanks so much for continuing to support this channel. If you like the video, make sure you like it. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you let other people know about this channel. Get the word out there. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. That's at prime_time_treasure. And I will see you all at the next video, everybody. Take care.